Arcane Conundrum. This skill is amazing. So this is on my factions only Mesmer, but you can run this like to manage your energy. Now, obviously, I'm running a BIP also, but this skill is amazing for a few reasons. One, it lets you get overload combos off like on everything. You can get these off on 1 second spells now. Like an overload combo is overload and then Cry of Frustration, and then you can finish with Unnatural Signet or Energy Surge or whatever. So here's a bunch of enemies. So you can actually use this to profit energy too if you cast it on enough enemies. If enemies die while under the effects of Arcane Conundrum, you actually will get the energy still. It also combos with Signet of Corruption. I don't know why I just used Energy Surge on a single target, but we will call that using the build correctly. Obviously. Alright, so let's throw this on this dude. But it's really good because if you maintain this on multiple enemies, you can essentially profit energy, or at minimum break even. As long as it hits 2 enemies at 9 illusion, you're going to break even. Well, actually, no, you won't break even. Because of regen, you'll profit. So you actually will profit energy. And enemies that are affected, when they die, you also gain it. And I think if it's removed, you also gain the energy. So this skill is insane. It's really good at just like shutting down enemy casters, especially enemy Ellies, which tend to be a problem in hard mode. So here's some Kappa. So let's go cast this on them so I can kind of show you. Alright. Alright. Look at this. He has no chance. Look at that Ice Spear. He has no chance. He has no chance to get things off. He's just screwed. Throw Empathy. I don't know why I put Empathy on him. I should have Conundrum, but... Oh, that was late. But you get the idea. So this is how I use it for hard mode and like Winds of Change stuff. I'm starting to do Winds of Change on my Mez. I still haven't beaten Final Confrontation hard mode, even with like reducing the profession limit, well, increasing it to 2. So instead of being limited to 1 of each profession, I'm allowing 2. Even with that, I still wasn't able to beat it. I tried it like a few times yesterday, but Arcane Conundrum is definitely a really solid skill on any Mesmer bar. Like you can even run like low. I have 3 inspiration because I was using Enchant Drain or whatever. But you can even run this with like 6 illusion and it's still pretty good. You'll get like 4 energy back when it ends. But doubling casting time on enemies, on enemy casters is huge. Especially when you have limited skills like I do. But overall, it's like good for both energy management and control. And if you're playing like an Overload heavy team, which Overload can be good. Overload with Shattered Delusions in the base trilogy is actually quite strong. So you're just going to be getting more Overload Shatter combos off, and like, you know, more Cry of Frustrations off, because AI has an easy time rupting things for the most part, and has an even easier time when the enemies are casting things twice as slow. So, alright, so this group I wouldn't really use it against them. Let's throw Empathy on this dude. So in factions only, Empathy is quite good. So that's an Overload combo. It's really satisfying to do. It's like it's not strangely satisfying, but it's pretty satisfying to do. So yeah, it's just a little Arcane Conundrum spotlight. You also have to consider that with fast casting and PvE, this thing has a reduced cooldown, so you can almost maintain this. If you have high enough illusion, you actually can maintain this on a group of enemies. I don't think recasting it causes it to end, though. So I don't know that it would trigger that, so I would actually probably... I mean, most people don't run this, like, they don't run illusion. So, alright, let's get this. Let's get this going. I probably should have hit those dudes. Some good shit. Alright, let's just hit them. Some damage. So Kappa actually have damage reduction, which is interesting. Alright, let's throw this on these. Empathy on you. Yeah, it's quite easy to get these combos off. Not that you need it, but especially for like Ellies. Ellies and Necros are usually easy to interrupt without help. I don't know why I just would use that. Like using my build wrong. I haven't been playing Mez, so I'm like getting used to it again. I should probably be. I'm getting used to like win to empathy things and all these other things. I should have overloaded that first. There we go. He's dead. Here, empathy yourself. Great. Cool. Alright. So yeah, that's Arcane Conundrum. it does end when foes die. So if you kill foes, like if you just throw this on like 8 foes and they all die, you get a shit ton of energy back. So it's quite insane. It's one of the few, like it allows you to not spec into inspiration. So if you can actually use illusion for energy management, but the big upside is that it makes enemy casters terrible. Like it makes them extremely susceptible to knockdown spam, as it's harder for them to get off spells. It makes them much easier to interrupt, control, shut down, and overload. So I would say overall, if you want to run something fun, you can splash this. Like you can just get like 6 illusion or so. Here's the build I'm actually running. This is a factions only bar on my factions account. I'm just running 15 Dom, 12 fast casting, 9 illusion, and then I just dumped the rest into inspiration. But with 9 illusion, I get 5 energy when it ends. So if I hit 2 foes, I actually profit energy because of energy regen. It does take some time to profit this energy. It takes 11 seconds or when they die. So keep that in mind too. But as the fight goes on, it tends to help you manage energy. So it's definitely good, and it's definitely worth running. And it does hit multiple foes. It hits adjacent, so it's quite powerful. But yeah, that's it for this Arcane Conundrum video. Overall, I would say it's pretty good skill. It's definitely not like one of the best skills in the game, but it's a very solid utility skill that you can run in almost any team comp. Especially if you're doing like pickup groups and you're like having a hard time, or you want to make sure you have anti-caster. This is a great anti-caster skill. It's virtually putting days on adjacent, plus energy regen, like getting energy back. So it's quite insane. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you in another video.